Unlocking the brain in a vat mystery in under a minute. Imagine a brain floating in a vat connected to a supercomputer simulating a virtual reality. An intriguing thought experiment, isn't it? This scenario, known as brain in a vat, challenges our understanding of reality. Philosophers use it to explore if we can truly know the world around us. The brain, deceived by the computer, believes it's experiencing a real life. But how can it know for certain if its perceptions are real? This dilemma parallels the skepticism about our own senses and the external world. Could we be brains in vats, living in a simulation without realizing it? It pushes us to question the foundation of our knowledge and beliefs. Ultimately, the brain in a vat enlightens us on the limits of certainty, urging us to ponder the nature of our existence. Unraveling the mystery of Gettier problems in a flash. Imagine you're sure of something, but you're right for the wrong reasons. They challenge the traditional view that knowledge is just justified true belief. Think of it as believing something true, with reasons that seem good. Now consider Bob, who believes his friend owns a Ford because he's seen him driving one. But what if the car was borrowed? Bob's belief is true. His friend does own a Ford, but not the one he saw. His justification was flawed, yet he was correct. Gettier problems reveal this crack in our understanding of knowledge, showing that our justifications might not always align with truth. This discovery forces philosophers to rethink what it means to really know something, beyond just having a justified true belief. Imagine a brilliant scientist named Mary living in a black and white room, learning about the world through a black and white monitor. She has never experienced color, yet she knows everything about it scientifically, from wavelengths to the human brain's processing. One day, Mary steps outside her room and sees a red apple for the first time, experiencing the color red. This challenges her. Despite knowing all about color, did she learn something new by experiencing it? This thought experiment asks if there are aspects of the world that go beyond mere physical facts. It explores the gap between knowledge and experience, questioning the limits of science. Mary's room invites us to ponder, is there more to understanding than just facts? Mary's encounter with the red apple illuminates the profound difference between theoretical knowledge and the richness of direct experience. Imagine a game of chance with the ultimate stakes, your life. This is the essence of the thought experiment, quantum suicide. In a sealed room, there's a machine with a 50-50th chance of either functioning as a life-taker or doing nothing at all. Every time the trigger is pulled, the universe splits. In one, you survive. In the other, you don't. The theory hinges on quantum immortality, suggesting that your consciousness continues only in the universes where you survive. So if you kept pulling the trigger, you'd find yourself inexplicably alive, every time, in an endless series of universes. Critics argue this defies common sense and overlooks the countless universes where loved ones mourn your loss. Quantum suicide challenges our understanding of reality, death, and our place in the multiverse, asking if we're truly immortal in some sense. Unveiling the original position, a dive into Rawlsian thought experiment. Imagine standing in a place where you know nothing about yourself. Your wealth, race, and talents are unknown to you. This place is called the original position, a thought experiment by philosopher John Rawls. Here, you're behind a veil of ignorance, designing society's principles without personal biases. The goal? To choose rules that are fair and just for everyone, since your place in this society is a mystery. In this position, you'd likely advocate for equal rights and opportunities, knowing you could be the least advantaged. Rawls argues this leads to two principles: equal liberty for all and social inequalities arranged to everyone's advantage. The original position challenges us to think about justice and fairness in a new, unbiased way. Exploring the state of nature. Have you ever pondered what life would be like in a world without laws, government, or any form of authority? This thought experiment, known as the state of nature, delves into the raw, untamed existence of humanity. Imagine a realm where all individuals are equal and entirely free, yet bound by the laws of nature alone. Without societal norms or legal constraints, would peace and cooperation flourish, or would conflict and chaos reign? Philosophers argue that this state reveals the true essence of human nature, our instincts, and our inherent social tendencies. Some believe it's a state of perpetual war, driven by survival instincts, while others see potential for harmony and self-governance. What do you think life in the state of nature would be like? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Unveiling the mystery, the statue, and the clay thought experiment. Imagine two objects, seemingly one, yet philosophically distinct. A sculptor shapes a piece of clay into a beautiful statue. At first sight, it's a tale of creation, but dive deeper and we discover a paradox of identity. The clay, with its own history, becomes the statue. Yet, the question arises, are they the same or different? Consider this, if the statue were to break, the clay remains, its essence unchanged, surviving the statue's fate. Thus, we're challenged to ponder, is the statue merely clay in a different form, or does it hold a new identity? This thought experiment, the statue and the clay, invites us to explore the nuances of objects and their essence. Exploring the ethical dilemma of the trolley problem. Consider a scenario where an uncontrolled trolley speeds towards 5 bound individuals. In a moment of crisis, a lever appears before you. Pulling it would reroute the trolley, sparing the 5 but endangering a single, equally helpless person on another track. What choice would you make? You're faced with a grim choice. Do nothing, and the trolley kills 5 people. Pull the lever, and you save them. But one person dies because of your action. What would you do? This dilemma is the essence of the trolley problem, a thought experiment in ethics. The trolley problem is more than a moral puzzle. It forces us to confront the principles that guide our decisions, making us ponder the value of human life and our responsibility to others. Unveiling the veil of ignorance. Imagine you're about to enter a new world, but there's a twist. Before you do, a veil erases all memory of yourself. Under this veil, you forget your wealth, race, gender, and abilities. You're tasked with designing society's rules, unaware of who you'll be within it. This is the veil of ignorance, a thought experiment crafted to explore fairness. Its creator, philosopher John Rawls, challenges us to consider justice without bias. Without knowing our place in society, we're likely to create rules benefiting everyone equally. The veil of ignorance asks us to design a world where we wouldn't mind being anyone in it. This promotes a society rooted in equality and fairness, guiding us toward more just decisions. Imagine a planet identical to Earth called Twin Earth. Everything is the same, except the water here isn't H2O, but a substance called XYZ. It looks, tastes, and behaves exactly like our water, but has a different chemical composition. Now picture Tom, who's lived his whole life on Earth, knowing only H2O as water. One day, Tom is magically transported to Twin Earth, not realizing the switch. When he drinks XYZ, he calls it water because it seems identical to him. This thought experiment, introduced by philosopher Hilary Putnam, challenges our understanding of meaning and reference. Though Tom uses the word water to describe XYZ on Twin Earth, his reference is different from when Earthlings say water. This implies that meanings aren't just in our minds but also depend on the external world.